Hi guys, and welcome to my first MotoVlog. I've decided to start MotoVlogging for two reasons. One, because I'm a bit of a gadget freak, so I really wanted to have the helmet cam. And the second reason is I just got transferred in my company to the sales and marketing department. And as I'm active in international transport and logistics, it's important to have my English à point, as we say. So I need to brush up on my English. And naturally I'm not the most articulate person, so I thought maybe if I practice recording myself for a couple of months, years, whatever, that I could improve on my pronunciation. So it will be interesting to see how crappy this first MotoVlog is, how crappy my accent is, probably. Hi, ducking. How many mistakes I make. Hopefully not in driving, but in my English. I've been riding for, let's say, 8 years. First years were only occasional, first 3 years, and then since 5 years I've really been riding intensely. Doing a lot of kilometers or miles, whatever you prefer. I started off when I was really young on a moped. It was a Honda PX 50cc moped. It was in fact so slow that people said they could hear me coming, go back inside to put on their shoes and have a coffee, and by the time they came back out I was actually passing their house. So after a year I sold that, bought myself a scooter, a Yamaha BW's original booster, also 50cc, but it was a lot sharper and frankly just a lot better than the Honda PX. I rode that for a long time. I had it for years, even after I started riding my first bike, my first big bike. I still had it in my garage. And I sold it. I was sad when I had to sell it, but I needed some money. Then my first big bike was actually not my bike, it was my dad's bike. This is actually my first own bike. I'm ashamed to say, but the reason for that will be explained later. The first big bike I actually rode was my dad's Kawasaki EN 500. I'll paste in a photo right here. It had 50 horsepower, I think. It was a 500cc cruiser, and that all didn't matter to me as long as it was an actual motorcycle. I had fun on it. It was relaxed, it was chill to ride. Then my dad sold that one and he bought himself a Z1000, 2004 model Kawasaki Z1000. For those who don't know it, I'll again paste a picture right here. So that was an entirely different bike. He didn't mind me riding it. So obviously I didn't buy my own bike yet, because if you get a bike of that caliber for free, or you have to buy your own bike, and with the money I had I really couldn't afford a bike of that caliber. The choice is obvious, really. So I rode that one for a long time. I actually rode it more than my dad. There's now 40,000 kilometers on it, and I really did more than half of those. That one had around 125 horsepower. I think the official number is 127. But it's a lot of you may think that's a bit of a big step for your second bike, but the Z1000, for those who rode it, will be able to confirm that of all big bikes, so all leader bikes, it's one of the easiest ones to handle. It will never surprise you. Power delivery is so linear. You can actually, I wouldn't advise learning how to ride on that one, but it's not comparable with a 1000cc racer or something like that. It's powerful, but it's not that powerful. Now I gave up on stealing my dad's bike every weekend. I had to buy my own shit. So with the money I had, I was luckily able to afford the Yamaha FZ8. I bought it second hand. It's a 2010 model, but I only bought it in January this year. I already did about 7,200 kilometers on it. So I think it's safe to say that I can guarantee that the Yamaha FZ8 is a good bike. It's even such a good bike. The only thing bad about it is the suspension. If you're really into racing it real hard around the twisties, might want to consider getting some new suspension on it. But I went to the Kawasaki dealership where my dad got his Z1000 back in the days, and they sell Kawasaki, Suzuki, Triumph, and then the Sim scooters. And he had this one second hand. He had a bunch of Hondas and Kawasaki's and other bikes second hand as well. They always have a lot. And I went in there to look for at that time reasonably new Suzuki GSR 750, and he actually was honest enough to say that I was too tall for that bike and that I would have a lot more fun on this one. So I took his word for it. This one was less expensive anyway. And I think I haven't ridden the GSR 750, but I can imagine that one would have been way too small for me. So I took this one. And I'm happy with it. Another bike I was considering was the Honda CB1000R or RR, I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's definitely more expensive in maintenance than this one. And also tax-wise, for the first registration it was considerably more expensive, and it cost about 1100 euros more to also buy second hand at the same dealership with about the same mileage. So yeah, the choice was easy as I didn't have a lot of cash to throw around. Plus this one was blue, the other one was a deep red, and then I do prefer blue over deep red. So all little factors that came into play. But what really surprised me about the FZ8 is the weight distribution of the thing. You can flick this one in a corner so easily. I'm used to the Z1000, which needs a bit of convincing to get through a corner well, but this one, it's just up, it goes. Of course, I haven't ridden that many bikes, so I have a limited base of comparison, as I suppose they say it, and I'm sure you'll leave me a comment to correct in case that expression was wrong. So that's what I want to ask of you. I don't have a lot of viewers now, but hopefully I'll have some in the future. If you see this video, leave me a comment. First of all, if you're a rider, state what kind of bike you ride. Just introduce yourself quickly. And if you notice me making any mistakes in my English, just leave a little note downstairs to correct me, and that way hopefully I'll learn. And I do know how English is supposed to sound, so I'll be able to correct myself listening to my own yapping. I hope the accent isn't too bad. It depends from day to day with me. Sometimes it goes really well, sometimes I sound like a serial killer for some reason. I remind myself of some movie, some serial killer. I'll be all like, yes, and I'm obsessed, it's a bit hard. I think we're gonna leave it at that for the first vlog. So I'm Jeff Motard, a new vlogger. I hope to get better at this in time. I must admit that motovlogging isn't as easy as it seems, because now it's easy, there's no one in front of me, nothing really can go wrong at this point. But when you're in the middle of traffic, it's hard to keep your train of thought and keep your eye on traffic at the same time. You get what I mean with that? Nice view. So yeah, I'll leave my first motovlog at that. I hope to be able to do some more soon, because the weather is a bit off in Belgium. By the way, I'm from Belgium. You'll mainly see me riding around Antwerp. I'm about, I think, 15 or 20 kilometers away from Antwerp now. Shalom. Nice turn. That was nice. So I'm about 20 kilometers away from Antwerp now, but I live a lot closer. I actually removed myself further from the city. Why would I do that? Because the city sucks. Don't expect too much of my motovlogs, but I'll try to keep them as interesting as possible. I mainly vlog for myself. If you want to follow me, follow me. If you want to suggest a topic, that's fine. I might run out of inspiration, and every topic brings forth a new vocabulary, which is good for practice. So have a great day, you all, and I'll stop recording now.